Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sabans. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a hilarious show for you guys. Before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and sub to the channel. So, looks like Nick Wright is back at it again, right? And this time, Nick Wright is pretty upset. Now, Nick always looks upset, but trust me, folks, this time he is really upset. So I came across a clip from his channel, What's Right with Nick Wright, and it says, Nick goes scorched earth over LeBron James' disrespect in trade market. Has everyone lost their mind? So, as you guys know, LeBron has been the #1 talk of the town in free agency because, well, of what his agent Rich Paul said, that LeBron wants to compete for a title, but then he picked up the player option. A lot of people are like, what the hell is going on? LeBron can't go anywhere. Now, a lot of people were trying to shut down the conversation altogether because they thought it was stupid. Why? Because it's like, okay, you picked up the $52 million. Where are the Lakers supposed to be making move? Like, first of all, where are they going to bring in these new pieces? And number two, who's trading for a $52 million contract that's a contender? Nobody. So the reason a lot of people were dismissing the conversation entirely was because no championship contender has that cap space. Number one, nobody's going to pay you $52 million at 41 years old. So there's nothing to talk about here. That's the main reason why a lot of people feel like this conversation, this topic is a non-starter. Well, it seems like one of the people that is pissed off that people are dismissing LeBron James altogether is Nick Wright. Nick Wright is pissed off, folks, and he let his thoughts be known on his channel, where he just went on an absolute tirade to the point where he was even swearing. Yeah, he was that pissed off. But before we get into his comments, today's video is brought to you by our sponsor, Prize Picks. Prize Picks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports with over 10 million members. Prize Picks makes it easy to get real money action on the sports and players you love. You pick more or less on at least 2 for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. For example, this week on Prize Picks, I'm looking at the upcoming NBA schedule and selecting Stephen Curry for more than 29 points and Kevin Durant for more than 27 points and Anthony Davis for more than 12 rebounds and Luka Doncic for more than 8 assists. If you're like me and you like to play safe, you'll love Prize Picks' new feature, Flex Plays. It's the safest way to play. You can still cash out even if your lineup isn't perfect. Plus, you can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. On top of this, Prize Picks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When my picks hit, I can get my money as quick as in 15 minutes. So download the Prize Picks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's code CLNS on Prize Picks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. And remember, whenever you support this sponsor, you're supporting this channel. Thank you. So what we want to do now is we're going to play exactly what Nick Wright had to say. I want you guys to listen to it, and then we're going to come back and react to his comments. Take a listen to Nick Wright here.
I have just been mystified at the combination of misinformation, disingenuous commentary, and almost huffing and puffing from the media, like, oh, I guess we're forced to talk about LeBron again. What the else has happened in free agency? The Kevin Durant trade that all of us knew was coming, that we talked about, that was awesome, that was exciting. Other than that, it's been the deadest free agency imaginable. One team had cap space, it was the Nets. They decided to use it just to take other teams' bad contracts. Shams was telling us a month ago this could be the craziest offseason ever. Nothing's happened. Other than the Durant move, the most notable move is Norman Powell getting traded to Miami. Norman Powell, who, by the way, oddly enough, the only time Norman Powell's been discussed on regularly on podcasts and TV shows, aside from ones focused on the Clippers, was a different LeBron James thing when people were like, oh, won't anyone think of Norman Powell and his all-star spot if LeBron knew he wasn't going to play? And so, but I'm listening to and reading, folks basically be like, all right, I guess we'll feed the content and engagement monster and have the boring, tired discussion of, could LeBron James be traded? You mean the greatest player of all time? Or, you know what, to not argue with folks, the at worst second greatest player of all time who's never been traded, who is open now potentially to being traded? That's a boring discussion. We'd rather talk about the Pacers losing Miles Turner because they don't want to pay the tax because Halliburton got hurt. That's what we'd rather talk about. Cam Whitmore for 2 second-round picks. Like, what are we doing? This is, and it's not lost on me today, this very moment, is the 15-year anniversary. I didn't know that until I saw an article written about it this morning. Today's the 15-year anniversary of the decision, which means we've had 15 years of enhanced, more round-the-clock, more 12-month-a-year, 365-day NBA transaction interest, from player empowerment to the owners trying to wrestle it back, super teams, homegrown, all of it. It came because LeBron and Maverick put together a TV show and changed the whole paradigm. And 15 years later, he's still one of, if not the most interesting person in the league. And folks who cover the league for a living seem almost resentful that this is a story. So I don't understand that.
So you heard what Nick Wright said. Nick Wright can't believe it. Nick Wright can't believe the fact that, not that LeBron is an afterthought, because he's certainly not, but like, it's like, okay, man, yeah, we whatever. He's not used to that, right? He's used to LeBron being the number one focus and all of that. And I'm sure a lot of people are in his camp, and people that think like him are, you know, shocked at their system to see that the Lakers are no longer even prioritizing him, that they're prioritizing Luka Doncic. I don't know why that would be a surprise, because he's the younger star, the better player. So why wouldn't they prioritize him? Some people have even been whispering in the background that they're surprised that the Lakers didn't offer LeBron James a contract extension, right? Which would indicate that they're done with him. Now, there's also the aspect of the fans, Laker fans. Laker fans are really done with LeBron. Laker fans really want LeBron James to leave the Lakers. It is a fact. I don't know of any Laker fan out there that is fighting for LeBron to be a Laker. It makes no sense. Why would you fight for LeBron James to be a Laker, but you want to win championships? We just did a show yesterday where Skip Bayless pointed out that for 27 minutes of the fourth quarters in the first round versus the Minnesota Timberwolves, LeBron James was scoreless. They said he had the worst plus minus out of anybody for the Lakers. So a lot of Laker fans saw that show, but most importantly, a lot of them are aware of what they saw. And they want to get younger. They want a younger star to pair up with Luka Doncic. So Laker fans don't want LeBron. As a matter of fact, a lot of them feel like he's ruining their team. This is a fact, right? So the only people that want LeBron in LA are, I would assume, are just probably like, I don't even know who wants LeBron. I think the only body that wants LeBron in LA is LeBron James, because I know his supporters are fed up that Laker fans don't seem to be appreciating him. And this has kind of been a thing ever since LeBron got. I remember when LeBron James became a Laker. And he was in the press conference, in the locker room talking to the press, and somebody's like, they were basically saying like, what have you done? He's like, I'm LeBron James. And they were like, yeah, and we've had Kobe, Shaq, Kareem, Magic, and what are you going to be doing in terms of championships? That was a shock for LeBron. That was the first time he went anywhere where it's like, well, I'm here. That's enough. They were like, no, that's not enough. No, that's not enough. We're about winning championships. We're not about, I'm here. Right? So Laker Nation made that very, very clear to him. And his fan base is now like, this is an ungrateful fan. How are they ungrateful when they had 16 championships before he walked through the door, bro? 16. Now they were like, well, what was he winning before? Yeah, that's a small window. Teams go through championship droughts. The Warriors went through a championship drought, but they won 4 championships. Does that take away from what they are and what the organization? Of course not. Teams go through their ebbs and their flows, but they're still the Warriors. The Celtics went through their ebbs and their flows. They're still the Celtics. So They don't appreciate us. Bro, they had already won 5 championships in the past 15 years. What are you talking about? So they were looking like LeBron. Yeah, you're here, and what's going on, bro? What do you got for us? You know, LeBron was promising them, oh, the thunderstorm is coming. Everybody went outside with their umbrellas, not even light drizzles, right? So Laker fans were seeing through that. And that's something that bothered LeBron fans because they felt like, oh, you should be appreciative. And Laker fans were like, no, we don't care, bro. We don't care. It's just the fan base. They have too much history. They have too many championships. They're the number 1 team in basketball, one of the most popular teams in the world. So, and they did all of that without LeBron James. All of it without him. No, LeBron didn't add to the Laker lore. He wasn't the reason that they were who they were and who they are today. He's not. So they know that, right? So LeBron fans don't like that, right? So LeBron fans want him gone, where he'll be more appreciated and he can go stack another team and win a championship. Laker fans want him gone because they're sick of him on the team. So LeBron wants to stay. And then you have Nick Wright, who's like, well, why don't we talk about this? Because they're like, there's no sense in it. That's what most people are saying. They're like, the only sense that we can have, if you listen to the comments of Dave McMenamin, is through a buyout. Well, if you buy him out, then yeah, sure. Then he can go sign for cheap. That's the only realistic solution moving forward. So that's where we are, Nick Wright. That's why people are reacting the way that they're reacting. And finally, people after a while move on. They find somebody else. When Jordan came, he left, and there's going to be somebody else. That's life.